Don't forget to like, subscribe and share the videos.
So it was asked in 2020. It is about the question that is related to the GST. Okay, so there are major questions that was asked in UPSC related to the GST after the introduction of GST in 2016. Okay, so there are many questions asked related to the GST. Still, there is a possibility for the asking many more questions based on the GST. There is a possible question like how the India will be a tax-free society. If it is no tax, whether India will progress? That is the possible question. And also there is another possibility is how whether India can make the changes in the GST slab as a single slab. Okay, present it is a 5 slab. If it is not a 0% means it's a 4 slab. So whether India can make it as a 1 single slab, it is possible, or else only 2 slabs, that is possible. So these are the possible questions they may ask. Okay, so still GST is also a relevant question they may ask in the upcoming UPSC mains exam. Let's discuss the thing. Explain the rationale behind the Goods and Services Tax Compensation to States Act of 2017. How has COVID-19 impacted the GST compensation fund and created a new federal tension? So it is a 250 words question, and also it's a 15 mark. It was asked in 2020. First thing you need to know, what is GST compensation to states? So before the introduction of the GST, you need to know certain things like before the introduction of the GST, there is the state government have their own rights to impose the taxes on the goods and services that are produced within their state. Now, after the introduction of the GST, that power was curtailed and it is given to the GST Council. So these are the things that happened. So that led to the revenue loss to the most of the states. The most of the states means the states that are doing great in the manufacturing, great in the services sector, the states that are producing lot. So that state got affected due to the GST. So to manage this issue, they introduced a thing called as GST compensation to states in the GST Act itself. So by the way, they tried to overcome this issue. So that compensation act, what it having is, it will provide the compensation for the states for 5 years. Okay, and also if the state's revenue is fall of 14% or more. In the pre-GST, while comparing to the pre-GST, there is a shortfall is greater than 14%, means then the government is, okay, the GST Council is going to contribute. The GST Council is going to compensate to that states for their losses, for their revenue losses. So this is what that GST Compensation Act is saying. Okay, in present day it is not in there. Okay, it was up to 2022 only. Okay, 17 to 22. Okay, at present it is not there, but still there is certain relevance. So the question is, how has the COVID-19, first of all you have to say, explain the rationale behind this compensation. So the rationale is, first, the state is going to lose their revenue. To maintain that revenue growth, we introduce the compensation, that is to maintain the revenue growth. Next is to compensate the manufacturing states. Consider it is a Maharashtra, consider it is a Tamil Nadu. They are the manufacturing state. They lost their major revenue. They are the producers of the goods and services. They earned a lot by the tax from their states itself. Now they are losing lot of things due to this GST to compensate for the manufacturing state. For that only. Next, it is obviously the alternative revenue source. because they are losing certain things. To overcome this, that compensation is acting as a certain things like alternative. And the last thing is the constitutional liability for the GST Council to compensate to the states. So by the way, it created certain things that is going to help the manufacturing states. At the same time, it got affected due to the crisis that was created by the COVID-19. At the time period of the COVID, there is a huge shortfall or else a downfall in the year in the GST collection. So already the government is not able to run their government at the time period. The compensation also got affected because there is no production of the goods and services happened. So that led to the issue. So COVID-19 affected the compensation paid to the states. So it created the backlogs, okay, and also low tax collection and financing to the welfare states, okay, to creation of the welfare state is got affected due to the delay in the payment of the compensation to the states. Okay, even it is not a delay at present, there is no thing is called as the compensation to the states. At last, issue of the borrowing. The government have to borrow to overcome all this issue. So the state government became as a borrower. So that is also the major crisis. Okay, so these are the major things you need to know. So, and also please note that it is a 14%. Even though at present this act is not there, you may use this thing in the mains exam if it is needed. You can also speak about the fiscal federalism. You can use that keyword in your answer. So by this way you can enrich your answer. So for this, the introduction will be what is GST Compensation Act. That itself enough, or else you can speak about if you don't know what this act means. You simply say that the GST collection was this, or else what is GST? One nation, one tax. Or else you can say that the GST collection is hit more than 1 lakh crore on this month of this year. You can say. It's up to you. Even though it is not directly connected to the answer, it is somewhat connected to the answer. By leaving certain things openly, if it is trying to give certain things means it is okay. Thank you.